Hey guys, and welcome back to TEW. If you missed the last episode, we are Classic Championship Wrestling, and we're doing our local to global. Now, before we do our little recap, I just want to check the news, because we didn't do this last episode, and there's literally nothing, so that's awesome. I want to give a big shout out to, we've got contracts expiring, which we have renewed, so that's fine. But I want to give a big thank you to the members of the channel, so thank you to Genevieve Sweet for being a member. If you want to support the channel and this series, you can. All you have to do is press the join button or the subscribe plus button now for some odd reason. And for less than $1 a month, you can. And it makes us feel warm and gooey inside and you get a nice thank you. Alas, let's jump into the game and we'll go over our last few shows. So, we did 4 shows last episode. We had the Hall Sisters defeat Jazzy Yang and Katie Arquette. Prawn Patrol on the hunt for whose blood was left backstage. Now, we all know it was Kevin Blackwood's from the big brawl between the Rebels and the circus, but Prawn Patrol don't. We had the Cook Brothers defeat Ultrasonic. Sonic and Radar argue. Sonico shoves Radar and walks off because there are now cracks starting to form in the Rebels, which the circus have picked up on. Gigi Ray and Rebel Kel defeated Christina Von Eerie and Hawley Cromwell. Drexel defeated Yabo the Clown. And then Takumi Baba returned to attack Drexel. Kevin Blackwood defeat King Cash. Suzu Suzuki defeated Serena Deeb by countout in our Women's World title match. In the next show, Takumi Baba defeated Kevin Cook in his first match back, and then the circus would attack Baba afterwards. Prawn Patrol picked up the win against La Matanza Barata Jr. and Taylor Rhodes. Prawn Patrol search the crime scene, find Hanako of all people and accuse her. She just scares them off in her big intimidating presence. The Church of Disciples defeat James Berkman and Jeffrey Barry in a pretty quick squash match. And then we cut to the back where Kevin Blackwood was trying to reason with Ultrasonic. Baba would approach and extend his hand to help them. Kevin Blackwood and Ultrasonic would defeat JJ Garrett, Royce Isaacs and Ryzen. Serena Deeb defeated Suzu Suzuki by countout to win the Women's World title, or to retain the Women's World title, I should say, and Drexel defeated Fred Rosser to retain the World Heavyweight title. Show 3, Baba would defeat Ace Romero. Thekla, who interfered in the Women's World title match, cut a promo on her hatred for Suzu, stemming from their Stardom days. Ultrasonic would team again to defeat the American Guns. Brother Devon would announce a battle royale with the winner facing Serena Deeb for the Women's World title, in which Valkyrie would win. Pawn Patrol tried to sneak up on an angry Hanako and once again got scared away. Very angry she lost the battle royal. The Church of Disciples defeated Cody Chun and Adrian Notice to retain the tag team titles in another quick squash match. Kevin Blackwood would tag with the Prawn Patrol to defeat the KTB, Lord Byron and Mikey O'Shea. And then afterwards, Kevin Blackwood would be attacked, the Rebels would make the save. And then, Dion Russman would defeat Hoodford. The circus shows off their new member who debuted last show, which is Crazy Steve. Valkyrie defeated Alma Jardine. Kevin Blackwood and Takumi Baba defeated the Church of Disciples. Kathy Kelly interrupts an argument between Kevin Blackwood and Ultrasonic. Hanako would defeat Ida Bradley. Drexel dressed down Eric Cannon and Kerry Awful for losing to Blackwood and Baba. Thekla would defeat Gigi Ray. The Midnight Heat would defeat Prawn Patrol. Suzu and Thekla were found fighting backstage, and in our main event, Drexel and Crazy Steve defeated Ultrasonic. Now, if we check out our finances very quickly, when I can see them, we lost £14,000 last month, but reason being is we bought TNT in the UK. Now, before we go any further, I promise to show... Let me just see if there's anyone else losing money. I think it's just us. Fantastic. Let me see if there's anyone who's in significant losing money. No. Okay, well, essentially, when I next can, I promise to show off the buying a company feature. But no one's losing any money. That's very unhelpful. Anyway... So with all that being said, we are going to skip ahead. You know how this goes. Any news we'll talk about. Any, interesting things pop up. If not, I will see you at the show. Okay, we have some new Sam Turner is moving on from Succuban. Interesting. I wonder if she's been picked up by anyone else. She's really good. No. We're going to we're going to sign her for a 2-year contract, because I actually think she's really good at what she does. Especially in like Maple Leaf and stuff, and we can use her as like a colour commentator if we need to, which will free up D'Lo. Or we can just use her to do interviews and maybe move Kathy Kelly into a different role or something. So I like the idea of that. Signing wise, we can extend the contract of Kevin Cook. We still have Kevin Blackwood to do. Kenda's been offered a touring contract with Noah. Ricochet and AJ Styles have gone to Noah. Hey, he's finally in the Northwest. Hallelujah, we can actually use him. Finally. It's only taken months and months and months. In fact, does it say when he signed for us? He signed for 2 years, so he would have signed in... It took him almost a year to move over. Holy hell, okay. Well, let's extend his contract to another 2 years before we get him on the show. Perfect. Better late than never, I guess. Okay, John Cena is retiring. I mean, it makes sense. Chris Ridgway, who just recently signed from us from TNT, is having a good connection with Blake. Awesome. ACH has joined Noah, out of the limelight PCO. Oh, interesting. And news-wise, we can actually re-sign Kevin Blackwood and Angul Blanc, however you say it. I can't remember now. I'll have to read the YouTube comments again. But I'm so glad we get to finally use him. And we can use him in 2 days, even better. Okay, we can bring in Samla Turner, so let's do that. Have her as a face, obviously. I can't imagine her being a heel. Any news? Mila Smith, who's amazing. If you haven't seen Mila Smith in, like, GWF and WXW, she is awesome. Yvonne Evans having an argument with Miles Bourne, okay. Jada Parker having an argument with Malik Blade. God damn, I can't read today. Creative. Really fine in-ring performer, okay. Good to know. Absences, is there anyone else on this list? No. I can't believe we signed him just for him to be injured. I should have checked that. That's so annoying. Okay, time to give some people the night off. So we will use Notice. We'll use Blanc. We'll give Alex Garcia the night off. We need Eric Cannon. We'll give Bambi Hall the night off. We'll give the Cooks the night off. So we can give Cassie Lee the night off as well while we're here. D.A. Brewer, Dion Rossman. We'll keep Rossman. Drexel, Eddie Pearl can have the night off. Ethan HD can have the night off. Gigi Ray, we need Hanako. Jessica Carr can have the night off. We need Joan Smallman. Kenzie Page. Lisa Hall can have the night off. Mike Santiago. Samla Turner we don't need yet. Or Gibson. Or Rebel Kell. We need Thekla, we need Valkyrie, we need Baba, we need Swoggle, we need Suzu, Sonico. We don't need Saya Kitamiya. I think we're good. Yeah, I think we're good with that. Excellent. Tonight's venue, we're in the Northwest, as always. Finalise our broadcasters, let's get on everywhere. So we are on independentwrestling.tv, YouTube USA, and YouTube UK. Cool. Booking team meeting, let's spend a create finish. Cool. Locker room incidents. So we ran training for Russman, Notice, Jussie, and Crawdad. Thekla brightened the backstage area by being so cheerful and fun to be around. Awesome. D'Lo Brown has been talking to Jussie a lot recently. Seems to be having some degree of his influence. Cool. Address the locker room, let's medal. And, I don't know. Sure, Baba and Blanc. Excellent. Okay, well, let's book this show, and we'll see what happens. Okay, in our opening match on the card, we had Infamy defeat the Prawn Patrol when Josiah would submit to Swoggle. 45 segment rating with a 39 wrestling rating. Josiah with the 35, Russman the 51, Crawdad the 42, and Swoggle with the 28. We then get the debuting Angul Blanc with a 53 against Adrian Notice with a 24. Obviously, Notice being our enhancement guy at the moment. 40 segment rating with a 38 wrestling rating. We then have an interview with Blanc where he basically just talks about how he's excited to be in, classic championship wrestling, wants to win some titles, that sort of thing. We then have Hanako defeat Jazzy Yang in 10 minutes by submission, 25 wrestling rating and a 30 segment rating. Hanako with a 35. We then cut to the back where Prawn Patrol are dressed as inanimate objects in the backstage area, doing a stakeout on the victorious Hanako, trying to get a gauge of her attitude, how she acts, to figure out what she has to do with the quote-unquote crime. We then cut to Drexel and Gia Miller approaching a lone Kevin Blackwood to talk. They then close the door in the camera's face. We then have the Circus Disciples, being Eric Cannon, Kerry Awful and Crazy Steve, defeat Takumi Baba and Ultrasonic. Crazy Steve got a 43, Kerry Awful a 30, Eric Cannon a 41, Baba a 58, Radar a 44 and Sonico a 61. Radar seemed off his game and Awful seemed off his game. Okay. I mean, a 56 segment rating and a 46 wrestling rating, not bad at all. We then cut to the back where there's a promo between Serena Deeb and Thekla, with Kathy Kelly interviewing them, talking about tonight's main event, where they're teaming up to take on Suzu Suzuki and Valkyrie. Kathy Kelly was a real star in this segment. Interesting. Okay, Serena Deeb clearly enjoyed the freedom, and Thekla enjoyed the freedom, only a 40 segment rating though. We then have Kevin Blackwood defeat Mikey O'Shea in 10 minutes, a very more vicious Kevin Blackwood, should we say. And then in tonight's main event, Serena Deeb and Thekla would defeat Valkyrie and Suzu Suzuki when Thekla would submit Suzu after cheating. 52 wrestling rating and a 58 segment rating. Thekla with a 47, Serena Deeb with a 48, Suzu with a 62 and Valkyrie with a 53. Not bad at all, and our creative finish was a success, even better. So the show increased our popularity in 24 regions, you'd love to see it. If we address the locker room, I mean, we should give it to Kathy Kelly for being a real star. And I think we'll give it to Blanc as well, for his debut. Excellent. Seemed pleased, seemed pleased. So we lost just under £1,500 for that show. Popularity-wise, again then, Northwest 32, we're only 3 off now, the next size. Going up in the Tri-State, going up in the Midwest, Northern New England as well, so we are slowly getting there. Okay, it's the night after the show, we have some news. So we've now got 13,000 viewers on our shows, excellent. If we go to our finance, we're still £1,000 up, which is amazing. Ticket sales 4,400, broadcast revenue, sponsors, merchandise. So good things are finally happening, which is always nice. Other than that, that's all I really want to check at the moment. Awesome. We have a little bit of romance as our very own Gia Miller has announced she's engaged to Ace Austin. Good for them in-game. And Britt Baker and Nick Wayne are fighting. There's also the return of Fujita Hayato, who's awesome. I think he is so good. It's a shame everything that's going on personally, but he is such an incredible wrestler. Okay, everyone has left everywhere. It's a max exodus. We're going to bring Frankie Kazarian in for one match. At some point. Perfect. So that's Kazarian. Jamie Hayter, how much is she going to cost now that she's unemployed? Still a lot. Zelina Vega, how much are you going to cost? A lot. Cora Jade, how about you? 1,000, okay. Eddie Edwards, how about yourself? 900. I'm kind of okay with that. Only for a year, though. And one appearance. I know who we're going to use them against. We just need to get there. Jonathan Gresham has left TNA. The problem is he's just signed a touring contract with All Japan, so makes it a little bit more difficult. But 2 more people we will bring into our roster just for one-off matches. Oh, Ricochet won the Carolina Classic for DPW. Good for him. Okay, it's time for our second show of the episode, so we can give some people the night off. So we will use Notice. No, we won't. Notice coming off. We need Blanc. Use Garcia. We don't need the Hall sisters or the Cooks. We need Cajun Crawdad, Kathy Kelly, Crazy Steve. We don't need D.A. Brewer. We don't need Rossman. We don't need Eddie Pearl. We need Hanako. We do not need Gigi Ray. We don't need Josiah. We'll use Kenzie Page. Don't need Awful. No, we do need Awful. We need Blackwood, Kevin Cook. We don't need Kevin Cook. We'll keep Lisa Hall. Mike Santiago can go. Rob Kell can go. Sam Turner, Ricky Gibson, Sonico. Okay. Perfect. Tonight's venue, we are in the Midwest. For this one, boosting that popularity. We'll get all of our broadcasters. Our booking team will leave the creative juices for now. Thekla and Lisa Hall have really bonded backstage, discovering a shared love for tea. Kevin Blackwood and Blanc have been hanging out a lot backstage. Awesome. We had training for Crawdad, and that's it. Address the locker room, let's inspire the troops. And let's get to it. So let's book the show, and I'll join you when it's done. Okay, now opening max. Kenzie Page would defeat Alex Garcia. A 61 segment rating with a 54 wrestling rating. That's way better than I ever imagined. A 60 performance from Kenzie Page and a 48 from Alex Garcia. Kenzie Page then cuts a promo talking about how she is coming for that women's world title regardless of who the champion is. Another 62 segment rating. We then cut to the back where Prawn Patrol have set up a fake lemonade stand trying to get some of Hanako's DNA for lab testing. We have Ultrasonic take on the Circus of Disciples for the World Tag Team titles, in which the Circus would win after interference from Gia Miller. A 49 wrestling rating and 57 segment rating. Radar with the 47, Sonico with the 62, Kerry Orff with the 40, and Eric Cannon with the 48. Match got the crowd hotter, nice. Post-match, in frustration and anger, Sonico grabs Radar by the mask and throws him out of the ring before walking off. Hanako would defeat Lisa Hall, 42 segment rating, Hanako with the 34, Lisa Hall with the 42. We then cut to the back where Drexel and Gia Miller approach a lone Sonico, who's sort of stood around ready for an interview with Kathy Kelly. And all Drexel says to him, doesn't attack him, nothing, but just says that the circus always has room for a lucha ghoul. We then have Kevin Blackwood defeat Ethan HD, a 71 segment rating. Holy crap. Kevin Blackwood the 72, Ethan HD with the 49. That might be our best match ever. We then had Blanc versus Baba in a match that had a lot of chaos at the end. Essentially, the circus runs out to attack Baba. 41 segment rating and a 46 wrestling rating. In which, afterwards, the circus would attack Baba, and making the save would be Kevin Blackwood, Blanc, and Radar, and there was no Sonico in sight. And then our main event, in a crazy match, we had Valkyrie, Suzu Suzuki, and Prawn Patrol defeat Serena Deeb, Thekla, Hoodfoot, and LSG, when Cajun Crawdad would pin Hoodfoot. 58 segment rating with 52 wrestling rating, Swoggle with the 34, Crawdad 45, Suzu 77, Valkyrie 63, Deeb 67, Thekla 48, LSG 42, and Hoodfoot 44. What a finale to the show. Increased our popularity in 23 regions. So if we address the locker room, who do we want to give this to? I reckon we do Blanc again. We'll keep him happy. And Kevin Blackwood. No, Kenzie Page actually, because she put in some great performances tonight. Seemed pleased, was pleased, perfect. We lost $5,000 that show, but that's okay. Popularity going up in certain regions again, you love to see it. Okay, Kevin Blackwood's gotten engaged to his partner. Kenzie Page thinks Hanako's a star in the making, and we now have 13,500 viewers for our show, which is awesome. I want to just go to, where is it? Where the heck? Finance. So we're still up £240, which means we're going to make a profit this month as well. Last show was pretty expensive, as I kind of expected, so not a big deal. But if we go to our size, 23 in the Midwest, 32 in the Northwest, we're getting there. We really are getting there. And like the more popular we get, the more money we're going to make, and it's just going to be a whole thing. Okay, we can start bringing some of the people we want to sign in, so let's bring in Frankie Kazarian, and hopefully we can bring Eddie Edwards in soon. Okay, there is a lot of news. I don't know if there's anything that really affects us. It doesn't look like it. No, but we do have this, which should be Eddie Edwards. Perfect. Bring him in as a heel as well. Bea Priestley's left Marigold. Good to know. I was just thinking. Brian Myers. He's still with TNA, never mind. I think they did re-sign him, if I remember correctly. I would have brought him and Edwards in as a team, but that's fine. I can use Edwards for my original plan. Not a big deal. Okay, it's the end of the month, which means it's the end of the episode. We have a little bit of news. Ricky Knight Jr.'s returned to us, and Dragon Bane's been hired by Dragon Gate. Before we go, let's just check our finances, and we made almost $3,000 last month. Perfect. I really do think this is where things slowly start to turn around. We are going to start making some real money soon, especially from like merchandise and stuff. Especially now we picked up that UK popularity, it's just going to grow and grow and grow. So that's awesome. So, I really hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, please drop the episode a like, it helps us amazingly. And don't forget to let us know in the comments what you want to see, anyone you want to see us sign, rivalries, all that fun stuff. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel for more. The Wrestling Hideout has all your wrestling needs, whether it's TEW, fantasy booking, podcast reviews, you name it, we probably have it somewhere. Regardless, I really hope you've enjoyed, and hopefully, I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.